Y'all think you know country music? Probably heard about this, but maybe you don't know the full story. Let's talk about it. Part 131. On February 9, 1969, Waylon Jennings' band was headed to a show in Peoria, Illinois. Riding in a makeshift camper pickup truck with kind of a shell on the top of it. A man named Walter Chuck Conway had just joined Waylon's band 11 days before this day as the new bass player, and he was sleeping on that sleeper cab on top. Well, they ran into some black ice, started sliding and losing control, wrecked the truck as it spun around, hit a bridge, threw Walter in the river, and he was dead on the scene. Waylon was not in the truck. He was about an hour behind them in a Cadillac. So when he got to the scene, he stopped and got out, and it really jarred and scarred Waylon, scared him to death. They would end up playing that show with Hank Snow's bass player. Also on the bill for that show was Merle Haggard. After the show, Waylon got into a poker game with Merle Haggard and Fuzzy Owens. Waylon said he had about $4,000 or $5,000 cash, and that's all he had to his name. And Merle and Fuzzy cleaned him out. Waylon said, "I never forgot their faces as they said goodbye and left after they wiped me out." Now, obviously, Waylon was traumatized that whole evening by everything that had happened. And he was also 3 sheets to the wind, as I'm sure everybody was. Getting in a poker game when you didn't have money to lose was probably not the best thing to do. Waylon sure believed in his mind that Merle and Fuzzy had no compassion for him whatsoever that night. And that's what we're left with. Now, in the late 50s and early 60s, Audrey Williams put together a package show called Audrey Miss Hank Williams Musical Caravan of Stars, featuring a young teenage Hank Jr., regularly featuring Merle Haggard and Waylon Jennings. So I'm sure they met all the way back in the early 60s, and they were friends. Waylon recorded about 4 Merle Haggard songs up to that time. Had a lot of respect for each other. But I feel like there's more to this story than we will ever know. But I do think it's something that Waylon and Merle both carried with them their whole lives to the grave with them. And what a shame all those years ago for something to happen between 2 of the best songwriters and singers to ever live. They both held each other in high regard as far as talent. He made no bones about it. Anytime Waylon talked about Merle Haggard, I think he's a wonderful singer and songwriter. Merle Haggard said the same about Waylon. But can you imagine the collaborations we could have had it not been for that poker game? Waylon just never got over it. If that's truly how it happened, I guess I wouldn't have either. Let me know what you think in the comments. Is there something else to this? Did Merle and Fuzzy just not have any sympathy whatsoever and just took his money? What do y'all think? Let me know. Be sure to like and share with your friends. Appreciate all y'all. I'll see you next time.